Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to Girl, You're a Goddess, the sacred space where we step into our feminine power, owning our worth, and creating a life that feels deliciously aligned. I'm Hilary Burton, a women's empowerment coach, a therapist, and a professional dominatrix. Think of me as your personal guide and hype woman on this journey to unleashing your deepest confidence, sensuality, and self-love. If you're ready to heal, rise, and start living like the goddess you are, you're in the right place. So pour your tea or pop that bubbly, and let's dive in. Gorgeous, gorgeous goddesses. It has been a hot minute since I've done a solo episode with you. We have had so many incredible guests, and I feel like they've been bringing so much value. I mean, the conversations we've been having are magical. And it was time to give you guys a little bit of an update about life and what's been happening. And I know we've all been feeling so much heaviness. Like, the past couple weeks were very, very heavy in the world. And so just know that my energy and my heart and my thoughts are with you. And I hope that it's been a good time of reflection and a good time of prioritizing energy, prioritizing boundaries, making sure that we are in the right space with the right people, and protecting ourselves from a lot of the negativity that has been in the world. So just know that you have the ability to protect yourself with your energy, with your mind, with your love, right? You can put your love and light out in the world and protect yourself from so much of that negative energy. And so I am glad that we are all here now, and it feels like we're on the up and up a little bit. The energy's feeling a little better. And we are getting into October this week, and it's the start of Scorpio season. So many things. And I feel like we had, a new moon and eclipse a couple days ago? I've been behind, but I think it was a couple days ago. Anyways, so fresh energy, planting new seeds, new beginnings. We can leave all of those cycles behind. And actually, I was just listening to someone else about the positivity and the energy for next year, because 2026 is a 1 year and we are in currently a 9 year. So if you add up the digits of 2026 and you bring them down to one digit, it's 1. And right now our digits add up to 9. So this is a 9 year. So this is a year of completion of cycles. This is a year of going through your last karmic patterns and things that you need to work through. So that should break at the end of the year, which means we are going into very positive energy, exciting energy, especially with the new year, because that's a 1 year. New beginnings, new things are happening for you. The things that you wanted to come into fruition are happening. Abundance, love, whatever it is that you have been manifesting, that should be coming into next year as we break these cycles for this year. And I am not an expert in numerology or years or any of that, but this is the information I've heard, and it's positive. And it gives me some hope about what to expect in the next couple months. So I'm sticking with that. If you're watching on video right now, I can't stop looking at my hair. I did satin rollers for the first time ever and slept in them because I had a photo shoot this morning and we were doing this dreamy park vibe. Tell me your thoughts. I mean, I kind of love it. I'm really liking the big hair. I know I need to work on the process of that, but I'm really liking the big hair. Let's get it. Okay. It's so good to be here with you. And, I'm going to be very vulnerable and honest with you right now. So we had so many incredible guests, and I put out this big ask of anyone who thought the podcast was a good fit, anyone who thought it would be in alignment. I interviewed every single person, and all of the women who had great energy, incredible things to share, brought value to the show. I interviewed them, and we were on the podcast, and you've heard from a few of them, but there are so many more. And I was so excited and so in the energy of that. that I recorded so many podcasts within the span of, I'd say, like 4 weeks, that I completely burnt myself out. I completely burnt myself out. And the thought of recording another podcast, editing another podcast, creating all the media and the content for it seemed so draining that I just had to step away for a little bit. And so episodes have been coming out because I have so many incredible women that I have spoken to that I can't wait to share with you. And that's something I'm learning to be very cognizant about, is my levels of energy and my burnout. Like, especially as a projector, I will have massive spurts of energy, and then I need a lot of time to rest. And previously, because my worth was tied to my productivity and my value that I was bringing to everyone else, I would just go, 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 go. And I would continue to burn myself out, and I would never let myself recharge. And so now I have learned that it is crucial for me to be able to recharge my energy. And that's what I needed the past couple weeks. And so it was perfect because I had all of these episodes recorded and I put my energy into that. And then life was happening, trips were happening, everything was going on. And so it was the perfect time for me to be able to step back and give myself a little break. So anyways, I felt so called to record an episode with you today. And this is Monday, and you guys will be listening to this on Friday. But I felt so called to just get back into the energy with you, because I really enjoy sharing this space. And I really enjoy a place where not only are we bringing value about feminine energetics, about sexual shame and suppression and big dreams and vision and manifestation and all of these incredible things to add to your life, but it's also a space where I feel like I get to be open and vulnerable with you, and that you guys get to know me a little more on a personal level, because I want to connect, and our whole purpose here is to help elevate the collective. And so the more women that I can connect with on this level, the more abundance, energy, love, connection, friendships that we'll experience. And so this is such a beautiful space, and I'm glad to be back with you. So I'm going to catch you up on some energetic things that have been going on. So I went on a trip with a bestie to San Francisco. It was her birthday. She really wanted to check out Muir Woods. I'm sure she's going to be listening to this. I love her support. So we had this trip planned, and I've never been to San Francisco. I didn't know anything about it. She didn't know either. And we planned where we were going to stay. We planned the activities, excited to go. So we get there, and it was nothing like what we thought it would be. I don't know if our experience was just a one-off. I don't know if it was in the energy leading up to the chaos of the past few weeks. I don't know what was going on, but it felt so low frequency, so low vibe, very unsafe. I personally felt very claustrophobic, and I think it was because we didn't feel like we had enough safety to be able to go out on our own or go walk the city or take a break or do whatever we wanted to do. And so it was very, very difficult to keep up positive energy, and everyone that we ran into was just miserable. Everyone there was so miserable and hated their lives. And I'm like, what is happening in this city? And it's interesting because we've heard from several people who love San Fran, who grew up there, and that's not the vibe at all. So I don't know if it's changed recently or if that was just our experience, but recharging, regrouping, trying to get the energy up as we come back was a challenge. And the crazy part for me is I love, love, love to travel. I love to travel. I'm always like, you could put me on a potato farm in Idaho and I'd have a good time. But there was something about the energy, the vibe, the location. It was so low and so negative and just yucky. And so this was the first time I've ever felt that way coming back from a trip. And previously this summer, we went to San Luis Obispo, Central Coast, California. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I came back from that trip, like that gave me such an energetic recharge and almost like an energetic high that when I came back home after that trip, Arizona felt very neutral. Like Arizona has always felt like home, very grounding, very homey, very comforting. I didn't know if it was recharging or not. To be honest, I'd never really thought about it. But going to San Luis Obispo, and this is the second time I've been, so going to San Luis Obispo was a completely different feeling. And the energy there was so charging. And so when I got back home, it felt like I was like a battery that was plugged into the wall. And then I got home and like, it was just neutral. There was no extra charge. And then going to San Fran was the exact opposite. I felt like I was a charged up battery, and I went there and I came home completely depleted. And so all of this got me looking into astrocartography, the lines of where you will find the most love in your life, where you will succeed in your business, the most abundant place, all of these places in the world that your astrocartography lines match up with. I'm not explaining it well. Also, I'm not an expert in that, but I did my own research, and it was so wild to see the places that I have been just obsessing about for the past year or so. Greece, Portugal, Croatia. I can't get them out of my mind. Like, I know I'm meant to be there. And that doesn't necessarily for me mean move there, but it does mean spending time there. And so Greece is my Venus line. So love, sensuality, just think like Venusian energy. Portugal is supposed to be my business line, which is also wild because I am dreaming of this wine port brand, and I have so many of the elements already figured out. And port comes from Porto in Portugal. And so I've never been to Portugal, but I am so drawn there. And then to find out that like that's where my business and like luxury elements are supposed to come in, wild. And Italy and Croatia are also recharging for me. And in the US, the most recharging energetic place for me is Central Coast, California. Like, how of all places have I been there multiple times, felt the energy? It's so incredible. Like, I can't even explain how good it feels to be there. And the ocean energy was just magnificent. And it's a masculine energy of the ocean, which I found out. So that creates even more sensual energy, lets my feminine come alive. Like, so if you have not done your astrocartography, I highly recommend it because there is something to that. And the places that I have been obsessed about showed up prominently in my lines. And the place that I felt so good in, so recharged, so energetically high, was also very prominent. And the place I did not feel good in was nowhere near my chart. Also, I'm wondering, I didn't look this up, but I'm wondering if there's a way to see places that like are not meant for you, that would have a negative impact for you. I don't know. So anyways, we need an astrocartography expert, but definitely do that because it was so fascinating. And like, now I'm even more motivated to go travel to Greece and Portugal and Croatia, and I'm manifesting it. Okay. Also, speaking of manifesting. So this is different. This isn't something I normally share, but we talk so much about feminine and masculine. We talk about relationships. We talk about releasing yourself from sexual shame and suppression. And this has been a magical experience. And so I'm not going to give too many details, but I want to catch you up on what I am learning more in the feminine masculine space. So I don't even know where to start. Okay. So I met a man. Previously, in dating, it's been difficult to find someone who aligns with a lot of the things that I have going on in my life. Not only am I looking for someone who aligns with spirituality, with energetics, intentionality, like just being very, very aware of how they spend their time and their energy, and someone who's very high frequency, who's self-aware, emotionally intelligent, has a stable life, does not have drama going on, is able to resolve conflicts. Like, there is a lot that I would be looking for in a partner. And these might seem like very high expectations to you, or these might seem like the bare minimum to you. So those are the things that I'm looking for on an energetic, emotional level. And then we're looking at life, like religion, politics, firearms, all of these controversial topics, especially right now. So I don't have to be with someone who thinks exactly the same way I do, but I do need someone who is open, who has an open mind to topics, to listening to other points of view, to other perspectives. And I'm not deep into those things other than I want my own freedom to do what I want to do. And so ideally, the person that I would be partnered with would have similar feelings and thoughts and opinions. So we have all of that, which is challenging. I should say that because then the universe is like, oh, you want that to be challenging? Okay, I take that back. So we have all of that, which is very specific. And then we have the fact that I am a professional dominatrix and I do professional sessions. I have jumped into the world of professional, like fancy wrestling, which is incredible and so fun, bringing me so much joy. So all of that. However, I don't want to live in a 24/7 dom-sub dynamic. I also want to be able to tap into my feminine. I want to let someone else handle things. I want someone to have protector energy over me. I want someone to take the lead out in public and to where I don't have to be on 24/7, because no one is meant to be on 24/7. Men are more geared to being on 24/7, but it is still difficult for them and they still need to recharge because of their masculine energy. Women are not meant to be on 24/7 at all, because I don't want to be on 24/7. That gets very draining for me. And I want times when I can step out of my dominant energy. So a lot of times I am in my feminine when I'm being dominant, but still it's a different strain. It's a different drain of energy that you experience. And I need a break from that. And I need a partner who also understands that a break is needed, that a recharge is needed, that this wouldn't be a 24/7 thing. And so all of these things combined are what I've been envisioning as my future partner. And what's really funny is several months ago, I really had closed off the idea because I've been celibate for a year and I've just been so focused in business, and I have been tapping into my masculine energy more because it's needed. The structure, the planning, the consistency, the discipline, all of that's been needed. Even though I'm operating in my business through flow and ease and rest, the masculine is still needed. And so I did close myself off to relationships for a while, and I didn't have the energy expenditure. And I knew that my capacity needed to be going towards what I was building, not just relationships. And so it was a couple months ago, I completely closed it off. And I was like, I'm just going to focus on my business. I'm just going to be wild and free. And I enjoy seeing my clients. I enjoy everything that I have going on, and I'm good. I'm really good. And then I ended up meeting someone who matches up with pretty much all of those criteria, all of the qualifications. And it's very early. And I could listen back to this episode in 5 years and be like, what in the world? And that's also okay. Because this is a season. And I am thankful for everything that I am learning, that I am receiving in this season. And it's beautiful, whatever happens with it. Right? And so this doesn't have to be a future potential. This doesn't have to be long term. It doesn't have to be anything. And I'm not setting expectations for anything other than it's beautiful right now. The things I'm learning right now are incredible, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. And I feel like that alone is a massive, massive growth in the relationship and dating mindset. Because previously I would have such a hard time with that. I mean, after I got divorced, I thought every person I dated was going to be like my long-term future one and only partner. And if they didn't meet that criteria, or, you know, it didn't work out, I would just be absolutely crushed, because I thought that person was going to be consistent, reliable, trustworthy, loving, all of these things. And so now to go into dating and relationships with the mindset of, I'm going to enjoy this until it's no longer enjoyable. That could be short term. That could be next week. That could be 6 months from now. That could be years from now. It's going to be whatever it's meant to be for me. And there does not need to be any force, any pressure, any expectations set on that. We can just let things be. And that is so peaceful. It's just such a safe, healthy place to be. And coming into this knowing that I don't need someone else's validation to make myself feel worthy. I know I am worthy. I know I am worthy of love and honesty and nurturing and care and sensuality and energy. And I know I'm worthy of all of that. And it's not dependent on a partner. However, the energy from this man in the past few weeks, I want to talk to you about it, because I've dated men with very masculine energy who let me be in my feminine, who let me flow and exist and be free and want to see me in pleasure. However, there has not been the power exchange or the energy dynamic with that. And now that I can incorporate the power exchange into this relationship, as well as being able to be in my feminine, letting go. This man loves to see me in pleasure and joy and excitement. He wants to serve. He wants me to feel like an absolute goddess whenever I'm in his presence, and will do anything to make that happen. So the willingness to serve, being able to push past the ego and say, I love to make you happy. I love to see you enjoy. I love to see you in pleasure, whatever that looks like for me. Being able to set aside preconceived ideas about what I was going to be, who I was going to be, how I was going to treat him or speak to him, or being open. We have both been so open to what this could look like, what play could look like, what our relationship dynamics look like, what it looks like out in public, what it looks like out in private. And having such clear communication on balancing the energy, on how we're feeling, on what we're experiencing. It's been incredible. And wherever this goes, the very, very least, This man is proof that healthy, masculine, service-oriented men exist. They absolutely exist. And I know many of you know that because you are already with these men and you experience that. But to find it in a relationship, to find it in a dom-sub dynamic, to find it in all of these aspects combined, it exists. And not only does it exist, but this is the true nature of many, many men. There are a lot of men in this world who are starting to tap into their true service nature. The masculine is here to serve the feminine. The masculine is here to create the space and the safety for the feminine to be in joy, creation, abundance, and then we are multiplying that abundance tenfold for everyone, raising the collective. And so the way I have been feeling these past couple weeks, being able to turn off, being able to step out of masculine energy, feeling a safe space held for me with that external masculine energy so that I can be in my feminine more. I can be in my sensual energy more. And like, this has been incredible for my energy as a dom also, because I've been able to tap out of the masculine and really anchor that into the feminine. And it's been so incredible. And the coolest part about this is I manifested him. I tell him that all the time. I manifested you because this is exactly what I envisioned in my mind as a partner, as a relationship at this point in my life. This is exactly what I was looking for. A man who has these qualities, the abundance mindset, the growth mindset, who's spiritual, who's energetic, who's intentional, and also is able to play in the dynamic, and is not only accepting of my life and my lifestyle and everything that I'm doing, but supports it. Supports what I'm doing in my feminine energy for other women, for the collective. And there are so many times that I've dated men or been in relationships with men who thought my lifestyle would change, who thought I would stop becoming a dominatrix because I was with them. And how many times does that happen? How many times do people think, well, she'll change her mind. Well, she'll change it for me. Everyone thinks there's a special snowflake. And everyone thinks that they are the exception. And that once you fall in love with them, then you'll be willing to set everything aside. Well, she'll change that for me. I don't really like that, but once I get her on the hook, then I'll convince her not to do that. You need to stay true to your desires, your boundaries, the visions that you have for your life, and only change those things for you, only when you want to. Not for anyone else, not for the partner that says, well, I'd like to marry you if you change this, or we can be in a relationship if you change this. No, that is not the person for you. And now I can 100%, absolutely, without a doubt, tell you that the partner you want is out there. The partner you've been envisioning, the exact dynamic that you've been envisioning is out there. You just need to hold your standards high enough and set your boundaries until that partner comes along. Because so many of us get into the pattern of, I want to feel loved, I want to feel worthy, I want to feel valued, I just so desperately want to be in a relationship that I will lower my standards, that I will let go of my boundaries to be with someone. And that's when we end up in relationships that are not aligned, that force us out of our feminine energy, that take us away from our dreams and our visions and our passion. And they also put you in a box. They put you in a box of becoming smaller than you were meant to be. They keep you from your full potential. These relationships that are not aligned, because you are putting so much extra energy into this relationship to try to make it work, to deal with someone's emotional unintelligence, to single parent, to raise a man child, to have tension and conflict over and over and over about the same issues. And they were the same issues that you had when you got together, but you thought it was going to get better. And now you're at the same point in your relationship having the same freaking argument every week. I get it. I've so been there. I have so been there so many times. And I think back about all the energy that I was putting into the relationships that were not aligned with me, that I thought would get better, that I thought would change. I thought we would end up seeing eye to eye. And the reality was, in those relationships, they expected me to change and me to cave and me to give up on my visions and my passions and my lifestyle. So this is my very important message to you today. Do not ever settle. Do not ever settle, because that partner you are dreaming of, they are out there. Get so clear on what you want. Get so clear on their qualities and their characteristics and the things they believe in, because they are out there. And this, it's not even a relationship yet. This is so new. But I'm telling you, the proof that this man exists, the proof of what I've been envisioning this entire time actually exists, when so many men told me what you're looking for doesn't exist, you should settle for me. So many men, so many past relationships were like, that doesn't exist. Men don't do that. Men aren't that way. You're not going to find anyone that ever does that. You're being ridiculous. You're being delusional. Because they wanted to gaslight me into that not being a possibility, because they wanted me to settle for them. Because they couldn't give me what I actually wanted. So this is your message. Do not ever settle. Be so clear on your standards and your expectations, because that person is out there. And again, this is so new, but the energy that I have experienced already, and receiving that external masculine energy to help me balance my feminine, has been such a gift. And just the proof of concept, right? Like, this exists. You can create whatever reality you want. Whatever you want, it exists. And along those lines, if anyone in the world, if anyone has something that you want or something that you want to do, they are proof that it's possible. You never have to question whether it's possible. And right now, I'm telling you that exact partner that you want is possible. It's been so lovely, and it all became possible when I also told myself that, like, I didn't need any of this. So anyways, it's been beautiful. Stay tuned. Again, no expectations, no pressure, just living in the moment every day for what it is. And you can do the same thing. The same thing is there for you. Whether that's a partner, whether that's a job, whether it's a business, whether it's health, whether it's family, friendships. get so clear on your vision and what you want, and it's here for you. It's absolutely here for you. And I also think the not needing it, the not needing energy, which is so hard because it's like building credit without credit, right? Like, you have to have credit to build credit, but you can't get credit without credit. And like, that's almost like how I feel this energetic game is, of not needing it. Like, you want a relationship, you want a significant other, but I don't need it, but I want it, but I can't need it. And focusing on all the other things in your life, all the other positives, things that bring you pleasure and joy, things that bring you abundance, so that your life is so full that when this person comes in, it's just a cherry on top. It's literally a sprinkle on the sundae. It's not something that you're getting purpose from. It's not something that you need validation from. It's not something that's helping you determine your worth. You already have all of that. You have the purpose, the passion, the self-worth, the self-confidence, the self-love. You have all of that. And this person comes in and just gets to be like, boop, little cherry on top. Here you go. Just adding a little more love and a little more positivity and nurturing and care and masculine energy into your already incredible Sunday. I think that was the key. Okay, gorgeous goddesses, that is all I have for you today. And I am so thankful for this space to share in this fun energy with you. And I really enjoy being shoulder to shoulder with you and walking these journeys and being able to share in that. So as always, feel free to like, comment, share. Please share this episode with any women in your life who you feel that would gain value from it. And also, I have an exciting launch coming at the end of the month. It is Art of Feminine, and it's going to be a multi-part course. Different ways to connect with, to exude, and truly embody your feminine energy. And we have some exciting news about the Facebook group, also our private community. I am going to tap into our sensual energy and have so many resources based on sensual movement, embodiment. I'm so excited. So this is where I'm going to be hosting my live sensual embodiment classes. And I've had them in person, but I have not hosted them online yet. So I am so excited to open that world up to more incredible women. So stay tuned, because we have the Art of Feminine coming out, the private community sensual launch coming out, as well as I'm making the final updates on our Goddess Guidance app. And it's so exciting. So we should have the app up and ready to go in the next few weeks. So anyways, gorgeous goddesses, it was incredible to see you today, and I will see you all next week.